Hi, this is Jahangir. I'm one of the business development officers at My Property Portal. Today we are going to talk about all about owner portal. As an owner, what would you see in our portal? That will be the discussion of our today's video. So our topics are like how do you log in? And in case you forget your password, how do you reset? Then we'll talk about the interface. Then we'll see what is available for you as an owner, and what are the reports that you can view in our system, and the PDF viewer. That's a special functionality. We'll talk about that when you see the demo. So let's dive in. To log in to the owner portal, so you have to go to manage.mypropertyportal.com. That's the URL you type in any browser and maybe from your phone as well. And then you have to provide your user ID and password. So your user ID and password is your user ID will be your email address, and this ID has to be registered by your property manager, and they have to invite you, and you should have received an email before you come and try to log into the portal. So if you haven't received anything from the property manager, please contact them. Once you have it, then you can come back and just log in. So let's say you are trying to sign in, you forgot your password. So how do you do that? How can you reset your password? You click on the forget password link. What it will do, it will ask you, obviously you have to provide your email address. In this case, I'm going to provide my email address as this is the email address. That's I forgot the password, and I'm going to reset the password. So I just type in or copy paste, whatever you like, then you submit. Then an email will be sent to you and you'll get a confirmation. Now let's go and see if we have received an email from My Property Portal. I have the mailbox open here, and I see that there is no email in my inbox. However, I just see there is an email from My Property Portal in promotions. So just be mindful. Google or Gmail has different tabs. By default, they give you 3 tabs, and many times the emails like password recent stuff goes to a promotionals tab. So just make sure that it's you check the promotions tab, or if it doesn't, you don't see it, maybe you should be able to find that email in the junk mail folder or trash folder. So check this spam, trash, and promotions views to see if you have received any email from My Property Portal. In this case, we see that there is an email, so I click on it and it gives me the link to reset. So simply I click on this reset link and I provide my email address again in this case, which is, and I'm an acne owner, 01@gmail.com. So new password, I'm going to reset the reset password to whatever I like. Okay, so it's going to type in okay. So let's reset, and the password has been reset, and it's asking to save, update the password. I could do that, or I can say never. In this case, I'll just say save so that it remembers next time when I come to My Property Portal. And if you try to provide your user ID, it will fill in your password in that box. So let's try to sign in with the new password that we have reset. So click to log in, type in the new password that I have created, and I'll just say login. And now I logged into the portal. So this is the owner portal. This is the interface that we are going to talk about. And as you can see here, it shows you all the properties that probably the property managers are managing for you, right? And at the top right, it has your email address, and the only options you have is just log out, right? So if you want to log out from the system, click on this log out options. And on the left side, you have different tabs. We'll go through this separately. Now, it shows you is the properties, reports, documents, and PDF viewer. These are the 4 functionalities that you will be able to maneuver in the portal. And on the top right, there are 2 buttons. One is a sort by name, sort by address. So if you have 50 or 100 properties in this list, so sometimes it's going to be very cumbersome to scroll down, right? So if you want to sort by name, you could do that. As you can see, just sort it very quickly. If you want to sort by address, you can do that too. And there is a search button as well. So let's, if you want to quickly search anything for, let's say, one property I don't see, but I know that it's there. So if I just type in 542 Rod and see, it quickly searches that property for you. On the right side of this item, as you can see here, it says actions. So actions gives you sub menus, and so it says view details of the property. Then you can go to the units of the property, tenants, service request, and rent roll. So units, tenant, service request is related to tenant, and the rent roll is the report. And this is a very common report that everybody wants to look at quickly. So what is this rental listings? So rental listings is enabled by your property managers. So basically this means that the vacancy advertisement for this property is on, right? You cannot change anything. It's just an indication that there is still advertising this property actively for maybe future tenants or collecting applications and whatnot. So, so that's about the interface. Now we'll go to the details of this property. To view the details of this property, obviously, we're going to go to Actions, View Details, or we can click on this address of or the property name. So in this case, I'm going to click on this property name, and it takes me to the property details page. So in the view details page, what you see is some basic information about the property at the top. Then any documents that your property managers have uploaded related to this property will be shown in the document section. Then at the bottom section, if you scroll down in the mid section, as you can see, you have a different tabs. Right. So a listings tab contains any information that is visible in the advertisement page. Right. The tenant tab shows all the tenants for this property. Incomes shows all the incomes that you have been, the property has been generating from rent or from any other type of income, right? It will be shown. So all the invoices that property manager has created or creating for this property, which are shareable to you, will show up. Bills shows any expenses made by the property manager for this property. Charges is the charges property managers make for you. For example, so they're managing your property and they have to collect a property management fee, and that fee is a charge they make. They create an invoice for you, right? So, and that when they create an owner invoice for you to collect their charge, that will show up in the charges section. So the other kind of charges could be there is a condo fee that a property manager, so you have to pay every month, and property managers is going to collect that money from you say every month. So they create an owner invoice for you, and that invoice will show up in the charges section as well. The owners shows like who are the other owners for the same building. So if you have a different partners, so their and the property manager has associated their names, and they will show up here as well. So maybe you have 5 partners, only 3 is showing up, then you can contact your property managers. Hey, there are 2 more people who are partners in this property. You haven't add them into the as an owner, please do that. So that will also show up as well. And you can also see who is your account manager from the property manager side. So if they have assigned you a specific person, that person's information supposed to show up. In this case, it's not showing up because we haven't assigned as a property manager an account manager for John Doe or John Smith or for Acme owner. Okay, now I'll go back to the listing page again. So listing tab. So in this case, what do you see? That the listing is on. That means they're actively advertising this property. And then you see a link, right? So this link is the advertisement link for this property. Okay, so which you can do what you can share this link to your social media to help your property manager out, right? So if one of the unit is vacant, so you want to share this information to your social media so that some might be interested and they can apply through online by going through this link. So if you click on this link, let's do that. That shows that, okay, there are only one unit that's right now available for or they are collecting application. So the prospective tenants can go in and they can see the details of this property. They can click on request now to apply for this unit, right? And that information or the application will go to the property manager and they'll take care of the rest. So the purpose of this link is to give you an opportunity to share the vacancy listings to your social media. If you want to share this information by link or email it to somebody interested, you can have them, you can give them the link as well. Features and amenities are the features that property managers selected for this property. So for example, the property has pool, but property manager did not selected that option, right? So now you know that that's not been selected, and as you can see, you cannot do anything. So what you can do, you can contact your property manager saying, hey, there's a pool feature here, but you haven't selected that option for this property, so please do that. Okay, so basically whatever they have updated for this property will show up, and this is the information the public, like the general public will see, or the prospective tenants will see about this property. Okay, the tenants tab. The tenants tab, again, it shows all the tenants, the active tenants in this property. And as you can see, there are some basic information in the column view. So, but if you want to see the details of the property, so you can go click on this view details. Then you can see the details of the tenant, right? When the lease start date, lease end date, if they have any parking assigned to them, right? Deposit information, right? As you can see, deposit information says that $1,000 is collected by, in this case, the deposit is PM, property manager, is holding the deposit, right? So you see this information, the basic information about the tenant. You can also see that there are two other tenants in this property, and you can click on their profile, and you can go see their details page as well. How the other thing that you can see is that this tenant's a lease. So if you click on this view active lease, then that will show the lease for this tenant, and you can click on the plus sign and you will see the details of that lease. You can download the lease and you can jump into different pages. You can you can do a few different things in here. I'll let you explore about this functionalities, right? So you like. So let's go back to the tenant details page. So the other thing that you can see about the tenant is their document. So there are three different sections about the document sharing. One is the documents uploaded by tenant. The name itself says, like, anything uploaded by the tenant will show up in this section, right? So any documents uploaded by admin public. So what does it mean is that these documents are uploaded by the administrator, property managers in this case, but it will be visible to the owner, you. It will be visible to the tenant, obviously to the property manager. Okay. The private means document uploaded by admin, right? And it's private. So private means tenant will not be able to see. And this is strictly for you and your property managers. Now let's go back to the property uh, for 542 Rod. That's what we have been working on. And so let's go to so we talked about the listings, tenants. Now we'll talk about the incomes. So incomes, as we said, any income generated by the property, and if there is an invoice generated by the property manager or the system, will show up in here. If you want to see the invoice details, you can click on this and you will be able to see the details of this invoice. If you want to download this invoice, you can click on this download PDF and it will download as a PDF file. Fourth tab is the bills. It is similar to incomes, and we talked about that before. So if the property manager has made some expenses to maintain the property, right? So they maybe replace the sink and they paid the bill, or they will be paying the $100 in this case to a vendor, right? But they would like to collect this money from you, so they'll be creating a bill, reimbursable bill, and for you. So in that case, in this case, when they create a reimbursable bill, that bill shows up as a bill in your section. So this $100 will be paid to the vendor by the property manager. However, they would like to collect this $100 from your monthly payout, right? So that's why this is an expense for you, and that's why it shows up in the bills section. Okay. And again, you can go to the bills and you can see the details of the bill. As you can see, it says it's 100% reimbursable by the owner. The charges tab shows all the invoices they have created for you, right? So they're managing your property. So they're with a condition of maybe 6, 7, 8, 9%, right, of the rental income. So in this case, to collect that money from you, they need to issue an invoice to you for that specific month. So when they generate an invoice for that property, that shows up in this section. Now you might ask, like, and what is the difference between the bills and the charges? So the difference is that the bills is created for vendors, but the charges is created for you, right? So they are collecting money from you through an invoice. The owners tab, we talked about that before. So that's just showing the list of owners for this property. Okay. Let's go to the reports section now. The reports section have 4 different reports. Rentals being the most frequently asked report by the owners. The lease expiration shows the lease that's going to be expired, and you can customize the report to run for specific months and whatnot. Statement of rent and disbursement shows you the monthly breakdown of your owner, the monthly owner report that shows you by property. The owner statement is similar to the statement of rent and disbursement report, but this is by the property manager. So if one property manager is maintaining 5 of your properties, so this report will show you one report that lists down all the properties, and it will give you the final summation of the income and expenses at the bottom. Whereas the statement of rent and disbursement is by property. Okay, so let's go one by one and see a quick glance of it. Okay, so rent roll. So rent roll, so if you, as you can see, it lists all of your properties, and you can run that report, and it gives you this report that shows you the lease start date, end date, the tenant name, phone number, how much rent they have paid, the due amount, and the revenue differences for the month, right? If you want to filter, you can click on this filter link, and you can run the report for any month you like, for any year. You can change the property selection. So if you want to select multiple, you can do that too. If you want to say that I just want to run everything, then you can unselect everything. In this case, all properties data will be displayed if no property is selected. Right? Expiring lease report shows the lease that's going to be expired, already expired link. A statement of rent and disbursement report shows you the uh, monthly owner statement for a property. So you have to run this one by one in this case, and then you also have to select the month that you're trying to generate the report for, right? So if you click on June for 542 Rod Avenue, click on it, that gives you the breakdown of the income and expenses. So rent and disbursement report has a few different sections. It shows the liability if there is any tenant deposit that shows up. Rent received is it's a revenue for you. There might be other income generated by this property that shows up in the same revenue section. Then it gives you the total. Disbursement, on the other hand, is kind of it's all the expenses. Okay, so management fee, which was an owner invoice, that shows up in the disbursement. If the property manager is collecting taxes, that shows up as a different line item with their HST number and the tax percentage information. Then any kind of expenses they have made or they have charged to you for that month, that will show up in the expenses section as well. So the total disbursement for this month, which is month of June, but the cycle is June 11th to July 10th, is $463.30. Then balance on account is this much because they have the rent has been collected for 31,100 rent was collected, and there was another income was also collected, which is $10. Total is 3130, then minus 463.30. That gives you the balance of um, $2,646.70, right? So this property manager looks like did not pay you anything for this month or for this period. That's why the payment to owner completed is 0, and payment due section shows the full amount. So once they pay you this amount, then payment due section will be 0, and payment to owner section will be the full amount, which should match this number if they have paid you in full. Um, Rented disbursement report shows the income and expense information for a specific property for a specific period. So period as in, so in this case, let's say the rent and disbursement report is a breakdown of income and expenses for a particular month for a particular property, right? So when it's a particular month, ideally they're reporting for a period, right? So in this case, let's say they are reporting the income and expenses of June 2021. However, they are reporting you on the 11th of the month, which means they already have reported you probably for May of 2021 on the 11th of May, right? Now they are reporting you anything from 11th June to up until July 10th, right? So the period in this case is June 11th of 2021 to July 10th, 2021. So anything in between, so any income or expenses reported within this period will be included in this statement. So that's the meaning of this period. Okay. So sometimes it seems confusing that it shows the month, however, it shows the period. So just to clear the confusion, so period means the last 30 days or 28 days or 31 days of information shows or included in this statement. The document section shows all the documents that property manager has uploaded for you. So there are three different sections. So one is uploaded documents. That's the document that is not the rent and disbursement report, but anything else. So you might have a contract with your property managers. So, and they created your profile. If they have uploaded the property, that agreement that will show up in the uploaded document section. Rent disbursement reports email section will show the rent and disbursement that's been emailed to you from the property manager portal. The rent and disbursement report saved. So in property manager a portal, there is an option to either save the report or either email it to you, right? So depending on what button they click, that information will be visible to this two different section. PDF viewer is a functionality that we have developed for clients or for owners who doesn't have, for example, LOV Acrobat Reader on their laptop or computer. So, for example, let's say if you have a Mac computer, right? So sometimes you do not have that PDF viewer application on the system. So in that case, you can download the file, different reports and like in disbursement report and any other documents from the portal, but you have no way to view that. So to eliminate that the barrier, so what we have done, we have given you the PDF viewer functionality. So if you download the report on your Mac, right? So then you can just click this folder, then you can open up any of the files, that's any of the PDF files, and then you can view that on the portal. I hope this tutorial is helpful. And if you have any advice about if you want to see any improvement into the portal, please reach out to your property manager and we'll be working with them to improve the process or functionalities to make you more efficient in our portal. Thank you.